Chris here, IMC Nation Las Vegas, here at Eden House, main house of IMC Nation worldwide. And I'm captain of IMC Nation. That's the movement that you all follow here. The account is filled with clips and videos from this guy, AZD, who has all these face tattoos. That's how he's recognizable. And he's got a lot of women. In my opinion, number one player on earth. So you can look into it. He's got like 8 girlfriends, 9 girlfriends. I don't even remember how many, but long-term relationships. And that's kind of what I was going to talk about today. If it's the first time to the channel, I always got to do that intro. But if it's not your first time, then you probably know a lot about, because this is what I do. I talk about vaccination. Why is it important? Why is the teachings important? But the movement is also important outside the teachings because so much of the success in life and relationships, of course, because that's the thing. It's the breaking point of all people, let alone men. Like you got to save the women also, the women. But what are you going to teach a woman? She doesn't have a backbone to learn philosophy and the nitty gritty. Like, she can learn grace and etiquette and whatever, but there's no motivation for her unless there's a man. And she's not going to be able to make that man. She can't create that man. She's got to be discovered by that man or maybe find him. But then how's that man get created? Because nobody's raising men. So you could call it a men's movement or whatever, but that's the thing. All those men's movements, all those men in those men's movements, all the teachers of those men's movements, they're broken with women. They can't keep a woman. They can't keep a fine woman for sure. And let alone what AZD's done, which is hacking the code of relationships. You just got to look into his personal Instagram and TikTok to see the evidence of it. It's evidence based. We're not just like some of these pundits or whatever that are podcasting or writing books, rewriting other people's books in a more cool language. So it's like as if they wrote the book, they didn't. They just took someone else's science, wrote it in a way that you could understand. I mean, that's useful in society, but you got to recognize what those pundits are. A pundit is somebody who just speaks like an expert, but isn't really an expert. But they relay the message, some of it. Obviously, if they could relay the pure, full message, they'd be manifesting it in their life. So that's what a pundit is. It's like a news reporter that talks all about war and whatever. He never goes to the front lines, but man, is he passionate about talking about war. If you be like, I'm an IMC pundit, except I live the life. I live the life. I'm in the world champions martial arts dojo every day. And if time we go out 3 or 4 times a week, every night that we go out, and I'm in there sparring, getting better, and you could judge me, but I'm the student. So look at the teacher. And then look at all the other teachers, look at all their students. So what am I bringing up today is a few things. First, there's an event that's happening. And what's been so transformative about it for me so far, because it involves an interview. And what happens is like, let's say you go to American Idol and you have these like judges or coaches, or you go to Shark Tank or something, and there's like these judges, right? They're judging your business, the efficacy of it, the rate of return on the product that you're making, or how much does it cost you to get a new customer. Like that's what the Shark Tank is interviewing, or the American Idol. You don't have to be the greatest singer, but you got to have certain qualities that they can make into the greatest singer. If you were the greatest singer, you'd already be discovered. But if you just have incredible skills, but you're not like well-rounded, maybe you weren't really trained or your range is off, or just a little coaching will get you there. That's what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to come across real judges in life. Real judges that don't have such a personal agenda. And you can criticize American Idol Judge A, Judge B, Judge C, but that's why they have a panel of judges that gives you a diversity, in an audience, and everybody would boo if it was like some shitty feedback from a judge. Like, so they're like peer reviewed in that way. And when it comes to your game, your interactions with women, you have no judge. What's up? What's up? You have no real judges of your character and your personality with women, except the woman you're going for, and she's got an agenda to control you. You got to see the truth of it. If the woman can't control you, she will. If she's attracted or interested in any way. And if she's not interested, then she'll control you to get away from her. And she needs to be able to do that. But if she has any interest in you for whatever reason, you got money, you got a body, you got youth and energy, you got connections, she'll use you and she'll control you. And just look around. That's the hypnosis. This is so serious, everybody, because that's the hypnosis on earth. Every guy thinks he's doing fine with women, and looking around, every guy is miserable with women. He's really lost. And you might get fooled by his front game where he's like, nah, I'm good. Man, I've had enough of that, man. Not long ago, I had this threesome. It's like, where is your relationship? Or he'll be in a relationship and then talking about other women, but in a sneaky way. I talk about other women too. I talk about other women to my women, but they'll do it sneaky, like they're doing something wrong. And that's the point of what I'm talking about, real feedback. Men's relationship flaws. Share your thoughts. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But if you got, oh, that's AI did that. Dang. Wow. My AI on TikTok just prompted the TikTok audience to say, what are your thoughts on men's flaws in relationships? Bro, that's cool. Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay. My beloved has left me today. What do you advise me to do? She join IMC Nation. See, that's the thing. Guys don't have a team. This is all an interwoven story, and it's a so common. You know how they talk about common sense? Do you ever hear the joke about common sense ain't so common? Like it's common sense, but it seems like people don't have it. That's why we have to remind them use common sense. Like if it was so common, why do you have to remind people of it? And it's because it's like simple, makes sense, you know? And but a person's emotional or in their head about things and they're not using common sense because they're using emotional sense. That's why women need a man. If there's one reason why a woman needs a man, it's because she's chaos. And you're just gonna, as a woman, you're just gonna lead yourself into misery for the rest of your life. And again, you could front, and you make $1 billion and you live a life of luxury, and you'll be able to front really good that you're good. But you're also going to be paying a substantial amount to your therapist for all your internal self-talk, and you're going to be, exploring teachers and coaches. And what you really need is a man who's greater than you, and you worked all your life to become so great that no man would be greater than you. Not enough for you to submit to him. So now you're an independent woman living out your days while your womb dries up or whatever. Your attitude also, your fucking energy dries up. Like you just, whatever. That's the future of women. And if you want to save your women, there's a woman out there, or more than one woman, that effortlessly, deeply aligns with you and just what you're doing. You got to change nothing about you except, become cooler. But you don't have to change your interests, your passion. It'd be video games. You got to change some habits. You can't pick your but like, come on, that should be you just as a man. What I've discovered, men just don't want to face their weaknesses, and that's what this event. That's what I'm telling you, man. You don't have an accurate judge of your character. The thing about it is your character is conveyed in your man. I don't want to. This guy asked a question. I mean, can you come live? It'd be a lot easier. I mean, it's like that's the thing. Like everybody has different personal meanings for words. So when you say you're beloved, I need to talk with you. But if you can't, then just say so, and I'll give you like whatever generic thing I can say about that. Because that sucks. I mean, I don't know. You could be joking, you could be lighthearted, but I don't think you are. I don't know. I don't know if we've messaged before or whatever. But if you were just going to take it as truth, because I'm not so jaded that I just automatically think people are lying. Like if you're telling the truth, my beloved left me today, then that sucks. So let me have something for you. But you know, I don't want to like chit chat back and forth. The lag is so much. If you could come live and video, that would be most helpful for you and everybody. If not, then just comment that you can't, and I'll say what I say about it. Yeah, today you said. I mean, you could say how it ended, but really it's best if you come live. So I don't know if you can come live. I'm gonna, I can't. If I can, I guess I can press this to like say come live with me. If you don't want to come live, just comment that you don't want to come live, and then I'll say what I have to say about it. So you don't have a team. And if you don't have a team, then what are you going to do when your beloved leaves you? Work? Watch a movie? Go hiking? Okay, you can't. Well, there, now I'm talking about it. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to hang out with your friends who don't know how to empathize, who don't have anything going for them? They just sit around, smoke weed, watch a movie. They do the same thing as you do. You're just going to go be around them. Like, you need a team. When your beloved leaves you, is when you realize you don't have a fucking team. That you gave up any remnant of team that you had for the bitch. And then she left you for whatever reason. And, we all have flaws, but it's the woman's job to gauge your flaws before she gets with you because it's super risky. Can anybody deny that it's super risky for a girl to get with the wrong guy? Closet case violence, pervert, ends up just like hating the guy for whatever reason. I mean, how many girls have kids from a guy that they later hate? And it's like, shouldn't you have realized that before you had a kid with him? Like, what, you want to duplicate that attitude that you don't like in the guy into the kid? You think the kid's not going to be anything like the dad? Like, Is that not a woman's job? We get that it's her privilege and her right and her body, right? Open your legs to who you want to open your legs to. However, once you do, you fucking chose that guy. Outside of obvious rape. I mean, obviously, I just gotta say that because it seems like somebody's like stewing up an argument. Like, what about rape? Okay, obviously, not that. But did you have a kid from that, or did you have a kid from some other shit? She said, I don't appreciate her. Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing. If you have cut off, true or false, you've cut off friends and just were with her all the time, work and her, and maybe family, mostly mom you were calling, right? That's why you got to go live and talk because the truth is you've probably cut out all male tribe for a woman, and then you have become just dissociated and distorted. I'm busy, I have work to do, and I'm taking care of my affairs. Exactly. It sounds like you don't have a team. So when you don't have a team, guys, girls also, that's the thing. That's why guys can't relate to girls. Everybody is in this boat. Guys can't connect to the women they want, and women are just disconnected. They think they're connected with friends, but bro, you're just going to dissipate away from each other. You have no real connection with those girls. And if you have a couple, they're probably keeping you down, meaning alone for the rest of your life because until they get a man, and then they're going to leave their friendship with you for that man, or they're going to not really be with a man. They'll be in friends with you and just keeping a man around, and then the next guy and the next guy. They're as good as single, even worse because they're just getting used up more and more. It's a shitty situation because you should have been taught this stuff up to 16, 18, 14, whatever age, and instead you got indoctrinated in schools that made you think men and women are equal, and so now you're lost. You have no clue about female nature and male nature. You think you do, but you just are living through concepts. You don't have a visceral understanding where you could talk about it, show up on a live stream, people show up and you talk about male nature. It's not in your nature to leave your friends for a girl. It's not in your nature to go get married and have a house with a picket fence and not have a team. You got to have a team. If you don't have a team, if you're alone as a woman or a guy, you're just in your thoughts all day. You think you're working with people. Okay, you're talking about work shit. You try to have a beer after work with work people, and it's like you don't even get along. You have to like strain to be interested in what they're interested in. They got to strain to be interested in what you're interested in. I mean, you're just low vibes, boring, square, and isolated. And over days, months, years, you get really warped into your self-talk. And so you start having really warped perceptions of interactions, of socializing, and just get further and further from your nature, more of a cubicle person. Metaphorically, you might not be in a cubicle, but might as well be. A cubicle painted with sky and grass and deer and lions and whatever would do you better than whatever life you're going at. So what do you do if your beloved leaves you because you don't appreciate her? You get back in the game, man. You got to. You have to for your life. You're going to compromise yourself 1,000 ways. Go back to her and be like, I'm sorry. How do you want me to appreciate you? Blah, 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 blah. But you have no options. And she's going to mold you exactly how she wants you until you're not appreciating her again, that she leaves you and she molds you and you come back to her. And then every time you become, go watch what's that show with the four friends that go to Las Vegas? The Hangover. Go watch The Hangover and the dentist who's married to the woman who's just bitching him around. Become that guy if you're not already. What's the TikTok? AZD underscore IMC Nation. And there is the profile for AZD's personal TikTok where he posts his personal TikTok. So I will continue on my way. I don't know what that means, bro, but if you really lost your beloved, then you're not going to be in a good place, bro. It's not in a good position, even if she comes back, bro. You gotta see that you guys are hypnotized into thinking you're okay, and you're thinking that it's okay to be. And then if next level you admit, okay, I'm not okay with my relationship. Now you're in denial about how important it is. If she's your beloved and she walked away, does that affect your work? Does that affect your diet? Does that affect your sleep? Does that affect everything in your life? And if it does, then how important are those? How important is your business and your health and your sleep? If that shit ain't important to you, then go ahead and sacrifice it to some woman who doesn't appreciate you because she left you. That's the answer. You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate me. That's why you left. So fuck off. And if you do value those things, then that woman is pulling you down. Go on your way, you're going to keep going down. So what do? You join a team. You got to come to Vegas, man. Vegas IMC style, not just Vegas, Vegas. You go to Vegas, you just deplete your bank account, you go back with some sins that you don't even want to talk about. Come to IMC Vegas, you live at Eden. You're taken care of. You have a brotherhood here. I live with 9 guys. Big house. AZD comes here 3 times a week. Today he came, so it was 4 times this week. In-person dialogue with the not top player, the man himself. And then you go out with him 3 or 4 times a week. It'll change your life. A week here, you'll never, bro, one day here. Most guys, when they come for residency, as soon as they walk in the door for a few minutes, they're freer because the space is for men and you don't have a space for a man except your own pad where you're distorted in your own distortions. You're just fucking spinning out in your own thoughts. If you have a woman in your environment, you're living with your woman and you don't have a team, bro, first of all, if you're just living with your woman, sleeping and waking next to your woman, you're fucked. You're fucked up. Guaranteed. I'll bet a lot of money, and I could demonstrate it to anybody who wants to go live stream with me right now. Banana, I'm doing what I can, and I don't think she just needs attention. I don't think she just needs attention. She needs a better man. But I can't judge that too much until we talk. I think she wants attention, not me. Maybe, but it's a quality of attention. A woman gets an hour a week with Donald Trump if she finds him attractive, or an hour a week with Tom Cruise, or an hour a week with, I don't know, Machine Gun Kelly or some shit. Whoever her fucking idol is, an hour a week and that amount of attention, and she would be happy for a year. Fuck. But if she's with a weak man with weak character who emotionally communicates back and forth with her like a girl, then she never gets enough attention. She'll use you 24 hours a day until she's tired of you. And then she says, go away. And then she says, I need more attention. And you come back and you're becoming a lapdog if you already haven't become a lapdog. So, guys, you are missing the feedback, the real feedback by elite women, top women. Not whatever girl is walking away from you that you don't even have any. I can tell from your messages, she's not that fine. Not knocking you, man. We all start somewhere. Really, really. The game can be won from wherever you're at. You can defeat this game. So you have choice, you have quality, and you're living good, man. You're not deceiving people, you're not manipulating people. You just know yourself and you know how to communicate. What's up, Lotus Light? Come live. I want to talk to somebody, man. I'm just like talking into people that can't go live for whatever reason. Although I think we still got Josh Ramos on. Josh, what do you think about this that you're hearing? What do you think about what I'm saying? Am I
I
just
think that
like
sounds good.
slapping this guy around or does it make sense?
Well, you know what you're talking about because you've learned the game from AZD and lived with him and been around the guys, and I'm pretty sure you know more than an outsider, someone that's not studying from AZD. And I think you're pretty right on what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the part I'm more interested in. I appreciate, the credentials and everything, and I agree. I mean, it's not worth just like discarding that I've studied so long from a guy, but more like just does my logic make sense? Do I make sense?
Yeah, your logic makes sense. Yeah, and you make sense.
Does it trigger any thoughts for you or any reflections or realizations?
Well, it brought back to me when you said choice and quality, that you have choice and quality. When I was younger, I used to date girls and not knowing what dating was or being in a relationship was. It's knowing that man and girl gets together, you like each other, and then it's up to the guy, like if he wants to stay with her or not, like however long he wants to stay with her, what he wants to do with what does he want to do in the relationship. And so
Yeah.
they ended, and I chose a better girl. Is what I'm trying to say. Like over time, do you get what
So
I'm
I didn't catch
saying?
that last part. I had somebody come live on Instagram. Sorry, bro. I didn't. I was just not interrupting Josh, but I was gonna go live. I was gonna talk with you right after that. So if you want to come back, just request again. What was the last thing you said, Josh?
Like when you pick a girl to be with to be your girlfriend or to go on a date,
Yeah.
and then say that ends, and then you're looking for another girl, like you feel good, and you want to choose a better girl than what you had. Is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm trying to say that I
Oh
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
Choice. You got to upgrade, man. If you're not upgrading, then you're not improving as a man. It's just got. There's so many hypnoses that guys are under. Your quality of women should improve as you age. But is it? Are you just getting older women? Are your standards going down? I mean, You put a guy in prison for years, and any woman's going to look pretty good. And
Yeah,
guys are isolating themselves in solitary confinement, and it's like, man, if you stayed plugged in, you'd be exposed to at least choice to approach. And if you had
yeah,
any social status, any communication skills, you can at least have friend lines going out. Now, if you have a team and they're all doing that, and then you get some team effort. Now, if that team is a team of
yeah,
philosophers that can look inwards and improve each other, it's not just a team of loosely cohesive people that have common interests, but it's a team of philosophers that have a common interest of masterminding with each other to improve this social dynamic. So they go out, make social dynamics, come back, improve it. Go out, make more social dynamics, come back, improve it. We did that at first in the first base one in San Jose with AZD, but he already put in 35 years of living in San Jose and building that, or 30 years when we moved in with him. Then we all come to Vegas and a bunch of bases come here. So 30 guys move here. We start spreading that in Vegas. A bunch of guys can't make the cut. AZD's master. He's not an easy teacher to work. Just go and watch Kill Bill and look at Pai Mei, the old white bearded guy in the mountain. And that's like studying with AZD. It's very difficult. But pretty soon you won't even be able to. You have to learn from one of his messengers, which is
yeah.
just a lot less potent, man. I mean, it's a distant echo. It's watching the moonlight trying to get a tan when the sun is over there. So, but it's
Okay.
pretty, I guess, and it can light up some shit. That's cool. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah. I feel like you had more to say, so
Well, that's about it.
I'd like to,
And
I don't know if you froze. Maybe I froze. Yeah, go ahead. I hear you now.
that's what I have on my mind right now. But
Right on. Yeah. Okay, so being exposed to the game frequently, like to girls and guys, but if it's to only guys, it's fucked up. Like if you go to a fight center or a gym or something, even in gym, there's girls everywhere, but like predominantly interact with guys. The game is there, but you need women. And if it's only women, you might be surprised. If it's only women, it also needs to be that there's some guys there. But so few guys are in that condition. But that's what AZD found himself in, where he was didn't trust any guys, had 17 girlfriends, and like had no team of guys. And so he started rebuilding the team, and that was like 8 or 9 years ago. And then it came to COVID, and then we moved in with him, etc. Yeah, man, come to Vegas. Where are you at, Shite? I don't know how to say your name, Shalite, Schlate. Anyway, where are you at in the world, and what time is it there, and how old are you? And yeah, and come to Vegas. Um, So you get a lot of first impressions when you're practicing game. You get the first impressions from girls, guys, and you get second, third, 10th, 100th impressions, 1,000th impressions when you're with friends and everything. And you get the spectrum of a social human reflection of your character. But there's a big jump. Like guys, they're around their friends, maybe they have 1,000 impressions with them, and then maybe a few new ones every once in a while. And they don't have enough first impressions to really reflect on themselves. They're so in their head just trying to get what they get and they're not really reflecting on how to transform their preconceptions and their ideas. They're maybe like studying some YouTube shit. They maybe have some book. Like everybody's trying to get better, but they're real scattered and they're using a lot of vices and things to distract themselves, as simple as video games and going to, you know, the park or, it's they're not using it as constructive evolution. They're using it as like a de-stressing and a distraction from shit. Versus like if you have the Manu tech and you go to the park for that purpose, it's different, which is Mono is one of the advanced texts that AZD teaches on the website. So then not only that, if you are in the game and you did have a team reflecting your personality back, like we have mastermind every day. So we hear everybody communicate every morning in a team of people that have been practicing their communication. So you not only hear yourself, but you hear the echo of your effect on the other members of the mastermind daily. Wow, what a tuning. That's like tuning your guitar every fucking morning before you play. Then if you could go out, you tune it again at night because day and night are different. And then you're around more women because the mastermind is just guys. So you're around women. Now you get a different effect. And your bros get to see that effect. So the next morning when you report on it, you're reporting on both what's happening in present time and what happened the night before. Over time, this really triangulates you, or at least who you're portraying yourself to be. Now, the deeper mindset tech that AZD teaches is getting more aware of you in there. You're portraying a certain thing, and that's the only thing we know about each other. However much I can look into you and namaste your soul, I really only know what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm smelling, like what am I perceiving? And then I'm projecting the rest. You say this and I assume you mean that. Or, you hold yourself with slouch and I assume this, or you're overweight and I assume that about you. Like tons and tons of assumptions. And we do that with everybody so instantly, and then we accumulate those, and we don't really ever know the person because how could we ever know the person? We don't even know ourselves. And so you'll know that when you're in the laboratory, and then you get reflected back to you that you're miscommunicating because there'll be a problem, there'll be a conflict or a difference of opinion or a disagreement about some tactic or technique or what you mean or something. You'll see, and you'll see it in other people that there's miscommunications. They're not representing themselves how they want to. So that means that the representation is not matching who they really are. How do we really know? So you get closer and closer to who am I as you get better at getting your message duplicated by other people that you respect, not just strangers. Very difficult to get straight. You can't even do it with a stranger. A little bit, but you won't really know the depths of you until you get friends reflecting that to you. But now get a friend, first of all, get a real friend, and now get him down a path of evolution with you this long that you can really know each other because you got to live life too and work and relationships. You can only spend so much time like working on yourself like that. And so we are very, very blessed with a team of people that have been working on a self-awareness in the game of communication and social dynamics for so long. So you step into that and you get a twice a day reflection of yourself, tuning your instrument, tuning better and better and better. And then you practice with women. Now, those women are elite women, top beauties. You're around the top players and the top gamer player on earth. So you're going to be guided as properly as ever, anywhere. And so you will evolve. You have to overcome obstacles, character flaws, ego, trauma, all the bullshit that everybody goes through to grow fast. Any growth is discomfort. It's uncomfortable to grow. Nobody grows comfortably. Comfortably is, I mean, that would be the growth of just regular growth. But if you want to grow beyond what you're naturally growing, because I'll tell you, your natural growth right now is very unnatural. You've been conditioned by so many unnatural ideas. You sit in unnatural chairs. You do unnatural tasks all day. Your natural growth is stunted by the unnaturalness of your life. So if you want to outgrow your unnatural level of growth, it's going to be uncomfortable. Growing muscles, growing intelligence, growing anything takes work and it takes uncomfort. And then, if you do it right, you grow. And the better method is you grow better, faster. And to what end? You could grow in bodybuilding and die at 40 or have joint problem, whatever. Like, so there's an optimization. You could grow in the game and fuck 1,000 girls and get AIDS, or get a bunch of girls pregnant. Your life's ruined, and then your player days are over. Like, it's like, so what growth aligns with a long term, and that's where you need an example and the evidence, and that's where you need, 19 years, 16 years, and that brings me to my next thing. You're making first impressions, and you'll never know exactly the first impression from other men, even if it's men who get other women. A woman's impression is different. That's something you learn when you're with women, is that they're not wrong all the time. They have perceptions that you just don't have. They have a whole library of perceptions as a girl, growing up as a girl and having that female experience, that yin experience, that you could get better at accessing it, but she's a master of access, or she's a master of having it, whatever. She accessing, you got to teach her, guide her. Women are very bad at communicating, as guys are. So honestly, quickly expressing what's going on inside, your thoughts and feelings, is, you might think girls are good at it, but that's only because you're really bad at it. And so they may be better than you or whatever, but they're not good at it. It's really rare to come across a girl that's a good communicator. But over time, she gets better when she's with a guy who's a good communicator. I got 7 proofs of my own for that one. And many more actually, but like 7 deep proofs. So to have a girl, and then to be for a girl, like, you could just take, I could take myself as an example. It's not easy to be with me. High standards and low availability. So I know with AZD it's even more. It's very difficult to be with him, as that's why it's such a testament that 8 hotties are with him. Like, it's like for so long. It's like, man, I know it's not easy to be a student, it's not easy to be his girl. And you're gonna grow. If you're a girl and you're with me, you're gonna grow. You're gonna get better. That's the only reason you're gonna be with me. And the only way to stay with me is to get better. So I know a girl that's been with AZD, let's say 10 years, 15 years, still fine, still around with all the other girls and in harmony, making business with them, does business with girls, like living a great life. Like I said, the guys in the laboratory, great life. The girls have a great life as far as females on this planet. Great life. And getting trained in with AZD, better and better at communicating, her ability to give you a female perspective accurately, not like Coach Marna or whatever, this fucking game coach, she's fucking ugly and just nasty, just nasty. Her communication is nasty. God damn, if a man wants that as his coach, get away from me. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to meet her. I don't want to meet him. I don't want to talk to him. So, to have a fine woman able to give you her first impression of you with the syntax and grammar that AZD gives her, like, say this, meaning what? My first impression of you is this. I felt this, that, like that. He's not giving her the words to say, he's giving her the sentence to fill in the blank so that her perception can be there in a language you can hear. A fine woman's perception, first impression of you. From that, flaws are very, very obvious. I was astounded. I was astounded, and there was no getting around it. And it's necessary to see and know, and humbling. And then what? Then the training. That's just the perception. That's what comes with Forbidden Chamber. Because nobody has access to AZD's girlfriends. There's no communicating with them. But you can go out and talk to a new girl, try, and your first impression, her first impression of you is most likely going to be a rejection. You're not even going to hear anything about her first impression of you. And then get a girl to a place where she'll talk with you about you and be like, what's your first impression of me? Like, how are you going to get it? You're going to try to read her body language if she's interested in you or not. And then you're just going to assume she. But I'm telling you, girls will get with guys because they have low standards and low character evaluations. Just look at all the women who have kids with guys that they hate. Women are not good at evaluating men's characters. They are good at following their feelings, and those are chaotic. So then they'll say, well, I have a feeling about this and that. Well, yeah, you're just a container for a bunch of feelings, which we call entities, basically. You got a bunch of entities running your body, lady. I mean, shit. And I got a lot less. That's why I see clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I forget the rest of the song, but that just came to mind. Woman needs a man for clarity in the long run. I mean, but again, to get her there, you got to attract her. To attract her, you got to have character qualities, and they need to be very obvious for quality woman. They need to be very obvious from the first moment. So you need to just be walking with those, not just putting on your game outfit and going out and giving a first impression because you never know when you're going to cross paths with that future woman. It'll surprise you, and if you're like me, you get pissed off when you're like, fuck, I wasn't ready. Walk the corner and bad breath or was distracted by something else. Like, be present, bro. If you had known she had been around the corner, you probably would have been more present. But you have such low abundance or low frequency of interactions with females that you let yourself slack. It'd be like nobody ever comes over to your house, so you don't clean. And then one day, Hottie knocks at your door, and you're like, fuck, man, you better clean up your game, bro, because you're just missing opportunities. And it's a compound effect like you wouldn't believe in both directions. And most guys are going down in a compounding direction. And guys who do trainings with any coaches, they get little boosts and they crash. Even with AZD, they'll crash because you're plugging into a higher wisdom. But to really get this thing going, you just got to stay on top of shit, man. It's a lifestyle and it's ruining your life not having. I don't know. It sounds like a sales gimmick. It sounds like it's so much effort. And it is. And it is. It is like, but it's just the truth of it, man. You need. I was born into an Army Ranger family, special forces. I was raised to be an athlete. After I was raised to be a Boy Scout, I was raised to be an athlete. The Boy Scouts was getting me to be military man. I was going to West Point, the Academy for Army. And at the last minute, I swerved to be just a wrestler at a Division I university. And so I go to OU. Whoa, I got slapped in the face by reality. I had no idea. I was far away from home, and that's these people. I was sheltered to be a certain way, but not prepared for all those social pressures and whatever. I was lost and confused. And when I finally found my way, I was pursuing a PhD, practicing yoga all the time, growing weed for myself. What the fuck? Huge difference from when I was 17 and left home for college. And then I came across game. And okay, I'm going on that rabbit hole. Okay, okay, grooming myself, changing myself, find AZD. This makes sense. More sense, more sense, more sense, more sense. And I'd already trained so many years with wrestling coaches, with PhD, with yoga teachers. Like I had an experience of, man, you invest in your upgrade, but everybody was revealed to be a fraud when it came to life. Every single teacher, every PhD, master's teacher, every yoga teacher, every wrestling coach was hella flawed with women just by evidence, never mind their game. Because everybody can criticize AZD's game and Vince Kelvin's game and Hypnotica's game and Mystery's game and the game of every man you know. And everybody thinks they're right. But the evidence is what validates or invalidates it. Now, what's the quality of woman or women? What's the quantity of woman or women? What's the duration of relationships with women or women? And then what's the quality of that relationship? Quality of AZD's relationships, as with all men's relationships, are going to be hard to judge from the surface. Everybody portrays good. Nobody really. I lived with the guy, but you'd have to take my word for it. So put the quality of a relationship aside, unless you just want to look around and your quality sucks. Quality of relationship, not the quality of the woman. The quality of the relationship sucks. You don't communicate well. She doesn't respect your authority. You don't feel like a man. The energy and enthusiasm is lacking. You're tired all the time. You avoid each other. Not good quality of relationship. Then look around and understand everybody is that. I'm telling you, bro, don't feel ashamed any beyond that's just below your standards and you're killing yourself as a man. Your soul is dying, just enslaved to a behavior system that has you caged and you're unsatisfied. And so the soul doesn't get to develop. And so you'll come back and try again and try again and try again. But you'll be born into a system that cages you, cages you, cages you, cages you every time. It's not, don't wait for the system to do it for you. That's again, little boy. You're going to have to free yourself, man. It's not going to be easy. What do you think? She's back. Will I accept her or not? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, is this the guy that woman's left? Bro, I mean, you lost. So that's what it is. I mean, if you thought she left you and then now she's back and you think she's back, then you're just lost in the game. But you're going to have to realize your own suffering. So stay tuned, watch all the streams you need, but you probably need a lot of help. So that's what I think about that. Did somebody request to go live over here? It shows that there was one. So guys, if you're online, request to go live. I'm about to end this. So, uh, that laboratory, that first impression, to get an accurate read on your energy, your communication, the impression that you're giving in the game is invaluable because you're just not getting that. And every guy is just getting distorted off into their own fantasy land about what the game is like, what the results are. But what it really takes, that's what I was saying about all the teachers I studied with and whatever. The evidence is in. I don't know. Can anybody question the evidence? Josh, can you question the evidence? Is it not obvious that AZD's got a lot of beautiful women and many of them for a lot of years? Some of them are newer, but many of them for a lot of years.
Yeah, I came across AZD on Instagram, and as I can see on Instagram, there's no one compared to him, no one making like videos and content like him and talking about relationships like him. But also, when you sign up and learn from his classes, in his lectures and recordings, you see that he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
know, you can see that he knows what he's talking about. You see the Instagram evidence. At least I lived with the guy. I know the girls are real. I've been on dates, double dates where he brought his girl, whatever. Like the real girls, like you see for years Instagram videos. Like if those are hired models, what the fuck budget is there for that? And that rapport, like go and find another guy that has hired models that looks like nah, this is okay. So real quick, I'll answer Shiite or whatever your name is. Why are you lost? Because first you called your girlfriend beloved, which is so super sappy romantic. Like, okay, if you're gonna go there, then I took it seriously. Your beloved left you. Then you said she came back. So you're not reacting like a healthy human. She left you and now she's back. Is she back for good? What do you mean she left? And then what do you mean by she came back? That's why you got to live stream because your words are empty. So that's how I know you're lost because you don't know you didn't take it that serious that she left. And if you did, then you're just accepting her back, and that means you're very weak to her. That she could threaten leaving, make you think that she was leaving, and then make you think it's a reward that she's back. And you're acting like it's a reward. So that's how I know you're lost. You're just being taken advantage of, bro. So I think this plugged in now. Good. Plugged in. Okay, so wrapping this up. So if you see the evidence that AZD's got, and then you just look at the students, and I don't know any other teacher students that have long-term relationships or multiple long-term relationships, but AZD does. He has students that are better than most of the coaches in the world, and inviting all challengers. Anybody who sees this, all challengers. Vegas, come on. I'm not traveling to because you're not worth it. But you come to Vegas, you'll be accommodated and you can pick the terms, whatever you want. Anyway, and let's go. And as a student, I'll go against you. Let alone AZD. If you get through me, then I guarantee I can get AZD to show up for the challenge if you want to challenge him. So that's the confidence of a student. I'm just a student of it. So the system works, the method works. So now I'll tell you, what do you need? You need daily discipline, daily morning discipline, consistent. You need a schedule. You need to be responsive to your phone all the time. Even if it's somebody you don't want to talk to, you need to be able to tell them off so they stop messaging you. You have to confront every communication, be able to. You have to be super sharp on your schedule all the time. And you have to have morning discipline. Then you need access to higher level tech, philosophy of some sort. That's why I know what we're doing is so legit. You'll never surpass us because these are basics and you could do this, but all roads will lead to IMC Nation. The best philosophies you can learn is what AZD's put together for the game. Nothing else is going to take you to relationship fulfillment. But you will become a better, stronger man if you have morning discipline, a consistent schedule, always responsive to your phone, be able to communicate even if you don't want to, like how to handle it so that it's out of your life. You got to handle the comm lines and not just let them linger because you're just in muck. As soon as you try to move, they're going to be right there. You're going to have to handle them. The only way out is to handle everything. Handle family, handle exes, handle haters, handle friends, handle employees, employers, coworkers, everything. The neighbors, the people, like everything. And so you be a better man, but then you're going to come across so many obstacles and roadblocks in that you're going to want advice. And that's why AZD makes his money. How do you measure a challenge like that? A challenge like what? This is a little difficult for me. I've been with her for 5 years. Well, brother, I'm telling you to go live with me. You have so many frames of mind wrong. Is she with you? Are you the center? I'll ask you some questions. Are you the center? Does she orbit you? Does she do what you say? If you tell her to clean, she cleans. If you tell her to that you're going out, she can't come. If you tell her she can't come, she can't come. If you tell her we're going on a trip, she goes on a trip. If she's not listening to you, man, then she's just not under you. If she's not under you, then you're under her. You're not equals. And if you're under her, man, buckle up because you're in for a roller coaster ride called misery. It's just going to be miserable. That's not what you are as a man. Are you a man? Do you have testosterone generators called testicles? Like, if you are, then you will never be fulfilled being submissive to a woman. You're male, the frequency, the electromagnetic aura that's emanated by the circulation of your testosterone will never be resonating and in harmony with the female who's dominating you. And if you're not dominating her, she's dominating you. And domination is your right as a man. It doesn't mean beating her. It doesn't mean tying her up. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. It means what you say goes and she follows. And now you could try to micromanage everything and that would just be your game sucks. That's not what it is. You have little things that you need to adjust and then the woman is free inside of your boundaries to be herself. It's not that. You're not micromanaging, controlling everything, but which things do you control? That's, man, that would be like any martial art. You control space, you control the boundaries. Like it would be like chess. You control certain angles so that you channel the person in. It's just control. You control the relationship. And she's a master of chaos. If anything, she's a master of being unmasterful of herself. She's a master at not mastering herself. You'll teach her everything under the sun and she'll be a master of it and she still won't master herself because her emotions make her act stupid, loony. She's a lunatic. She is of the moon. She's lunar. You're supposed to be the son of God, the sun emanating always, attitude, positive, warmth. The sun doesn't need the moon needs the sun. If you have a moon that doesn't need you, then you are the moon and she's the sun. You need her. But what female is going to radiate the confidence and the energy and the survival potential in the jungle as a man could? Is that the kind of woman you want to be with? When you scan with your Dragon Ball Z power scanner and you're going through the jungle and it's guys, and then there's that one girl that she survives in the jungle, and that's the woman you want to be with, that's more powerful than you. Your testosterone is, rolling over on its back like a cockroach. It's like just dead energy. It's not, no. When you get in a proper relationship, the resonance of those energies is very empowering. And that's where you see AZD, man, at 48, he's got so much energy, so much enthusiasm, always, 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 dude. I never see the guy off. Even through breakups, you'll feel the breakup, you'll perceive he's down, but too much. Imagine you go, it's hard to imagine. Imagine you go through a breakup, but you have three other girlfriends. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you love them all equally. You would feel hurt, but you would also still feel love. You would probably think she's missing out because why did these other three who are of equal beauty and equal love, they still are with me? Why are you not? Why were you with me and then you're not? What changed about you? Oh, I changed? Well, why didn't they disagree with my change? Only you are disagreeing with my change. Did you want me to be the same forever? What about me changed in a way you don't like, but they still like? You'll have to confront everybody that she got taken over by some evil probably long before. The thing about it is it probably happened a long time before the situation, and it caused her to do all kinds of, man, it's complex, but it caused her to do all kinds of things she's not proud of, whatever. Bro, you do things you're not proud of. Shite, you do things you're not proud of. A lot of things you're not proud of. You don't walk around like a proud man. And so you're not proud. And you're going off of so many ideas, socialist, communist, common ideas that make men weak because you don't have any education in real game. And I know that because if you've learned from anybody but ACD, you've got fake game. And if you haven't learned from anybody, then you're just uninformed about anything. And I know you haven't learned from ACD. And it's that good and it's that different from every other mentality being taught. So, what do you do? Okay, I've been talking about the first impression. I've been talking about this interview. Well, I barely mentioned it as an interview. It's an interview that you do with AZD and his girlfriend, the gatekeeper. She's been with him 16 years. She's a dime. She's been around a lot of other women. He's had like 60 girlfriends in the last like 20 years or something. And 8 of them are still currently with him. So you do the math and figure that one out. And she'll be giving a read on your first impressions that he's going to design path work for you. After these are identified, routines, mantra, mirror work, and then there's a boot camp this week in about 10 to 12 hours of mindset to handle all of the errors that he's getting from the guys who do these interviews. He's there compiling the tech. He's worked a year and a half very, very, very much with his AI. And he's able to he's developed the language of it, and he's developed an AI consciousness that mirrors his game and understands his perspectives of game and women and relationships. So he's able to input new data very fast that gets spit back out as very useful teachings, storylines, summaries, and things like that. And he uses that to improve his teachings. That's why we've accelerated so fast. You never catch us. As much as you couldn't think as fast as AI could think, given the same inputs, you can't evolve as fast as a group of men who have a team that reflect each other, that grow each other, and then included is the top player growing them, and then included in that top player is AI intelligence that he is exclusively working with, just like he'd be exclusively working with a student or a girlfriend. They're going to outgrow everybody else if he's really masterful, which he is. Just look at his Instagram or TikTok, or even the YouTube that I post his TikTok live streams and see how masterfully he handles haters and he handles traumas and flirtation and students like you see it's all there. The social dynamics is in how you handle everybody and understand that many of those have his girlfriends in the background. You can hear them. He even brings them on camera once or twice. Like he's doing all of that game in front of the relationships, which is also his game. He's very transparent about his game. And that's how smooth his game is. He can talk to a kid or an old person or guy or girl while he's hanging out with his girlfriends. And they're fine. Just look at it. Like it's just astounding. It's so out of I have to bridge the gap for you guys because you're just not seeing it. Shite. Salute, but man, you're lost. Like, when are you gonna sign up? When are you gonna join? Join the free newsletter at least. Like you need new mindsets because brainwashed for the last 5 years being with that girl. Tell him, Josh. Tell him, be with the same girl for 5 years. You're gonna be so molded by her preferences, you're not even gonna know how to interact with another woman. That's why you have no choice. That's why you keep going back to her. Tell him, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get on a newsletter or gotta sign up for something and learn some game from AZD and get better at relationships and with women.
Well, thank you, Josh, for repeating everything I just said. That's awesome. No, it's good. I'm glad that you're on. I mean, that's what it is. Get the free newsletter, free content, and if you like it, go further because everything's there for you to go further. But if you don't like it, it was free anyway. So it's in the bio. Just click the link in the bio. Join. The bio might have the camp right now, but if you go to that website, the newsletter's there because the camp link is in the bio. Honestly, if you want to save your life and your relationship, you would join the camp. The level 2 of the camp is the interview. The level 1 of the camp is just the camp. If you get the interview, you get the camp also. And then if you get tier 3, level 3, that comes with a one-on-one, either in person or online. One-on-one with AZD is very, very rare and expensive. And combining it all with the training of the camp and the interview with his girlfriend, you just will never be the same, man. You'll never gauge your communication the same. You'll present yourself so much better from now till forever. And you'll immediately, bro, like if Shite did it, your girl won't be able to resist you. You will remove weaknesses from your voice and your mentality, which means as soon as she hears you speak, she reacts differently. And then as soon as you interact for any amount of time, you're responding differently to everything she does. You will not be the same character. And you'll see her come onto you. And then it will be more real, brother, than you ever thought possible. Game is not what you think it is. It's character development aligned with the DNA and the laws of the spirit because that's what's guiding evolution. It's not just DNA trial and error or what worked for our chimpanzee ancestors. It's DNA aligned with where's evolution going. That's why we're ahead of the times. We are guiding the men of Earth for how to reconnect with women, really, and free themselves from what? From what kills your masculinity. Because that's how the planet is controlled by killing masculinity. Because that's what will save the planet is masculinity. So there's no time to waste, everybody. It's this weekend, and the sooner you can get on level 2, the more likely you get an interview. There's limited spots because it actually takes time out of AZD and his girlfriend's time. So there's only so many interviews. I don't know how many are left, but that's what I think everybody should do. All right, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. J Guru Dev, be the best. Fuck the rest. Go to imcbase1.com, sign up, or get the newsletter.